Hey guys, so welcome to my Patreon. Welcome to the first video. Before starting, I just want to say that I'm really happy for you guys to be joining from day one. I'm really surprised that I already got this amount of patrons from day one. That's why I was rushing so fast to start recording videos and make my first video as soon as possible. The second thing that I want to talk about is that I I just hope that you guys would understand that I'm doing these videos basically like the way that I'm doing my personal work. So it's not gonna be very formal and like very ordered. It's gonna be really casual. It's gonna be basically like if I'm hanging out with you guys and we are just like sculpting and painting. So I hope this is okay with you guys. So yeah, without further ado, let's start. So like the post that I shared yesterday on the page, I mentioned that we're gonna start with something like taking Walter White's head and finish it the way that we had the Mike 3D portrait. So so I have here Walter's head in Zbrush, and it's not the greatest sculpt. It's an older sculpt of mine, so it's not that great, but it has sufficient details for us to start with. And another thing that I wanted to mention is these guys. This piece of amazing software is called PureRef, and if you don't know what PureRef is, or if you don't have PureRef, I highly recommend that you guys get it. It's an amazing and free software that you can use to basically collect all your reference in one huge page, and you can like zoom in into whatever image that you're gonna be looking at. You can order your images in whatever order you want. Like for example, here I try to like keep the face like from the side view, like in one chunk, from the other side view in another chunk, and then I would have like my main reference, or the images that's gonna be the focus of me while working. I try to keep them in the middle, and I try to collect reference from every angle that's possible. For example, here you can see this is like 3/4 from the back. Here you can see like it's 3/4 and a little bit of a low angle, like from the bottom. This way you can see how the nose looks like, how the jawbone looks like, and yeah, I try also to get some images that are really high res, that you can see the pore details as much as possible. And yeah, I also try whenever I can, I try to keep all the reference that I'm collecting to be in neutral expression. So I try to keep away from smiling or crying, or like the mouth open, or like angry. I try to keep it mostly like this, you know. And even if I have some references of him like smiling, then I know for sure that if I'm making the portrait to be neutral, then I will never add this kind of details that I can get from a smile. So I wouldn't sculpt these wrinkles like that, and I wouldn't sculpt like the eyes closed like that, and these kind of wrinkles exaggerated here. I would try to keep it more like in this direction. And I always have this handy thing on my second monitor while I'm working. So the first thing that you guys should do right after watching this video is to download PureRef and start always using it for collecting your reference. And you can do like amazing stuff with it. Like, for example, you can get any image from Google. You can just like grab it and drop it on the page here, and you can like scale it, you can rotate it, you can also like if you have a huge image and you're gonna only use the head, you can crop it, like crop only the head. You can zoom in, zoom out, do whatever you can with the photos, and all of them in one page. So this is the first thing. Collect your reference, collect good reference, because this is going to help you to make a good likeness and good artwork in general. So that's the first thing. So if you can see here, what I can do is that I can, let me get this guy. So if I can show you guys here, let me try to do it like settings, preferences. So yeah, I think it's in in mode. So in mode, always on top. So this way that if I move my model inside Zbrush, it doesn't disappear, which is awesome. So I can have it here next to me while I'm speaking to you guys about the way that I look at the reference while I am sculpting. So as you can see here, I try to look at all the references as much as possible, but in the same time I try to keep one of them as my main reference. And I chose this one because I could see the pores and the wrinkles details, and it's not the end of the world if you didn't match it exactly like pore by pore, because you can't find him looking the same in every image or in every photo. But you know, for stuff like this mole here on his cheek, you try to keep that. Anything that's recognizable, of course, you try to match. But anything that's like a small pore details, you don't have to match it exactly the same. Like for example, I try here to, as you can see, I try to keep the wrinkles, like you can see this small wrinkle here, you can see this wrinkle here, the big wrinkle above this one. So yeah, I try even here, you can see he has this kind of injury or something like that, like a scar. I try to have it on my scalp, but it's not the end of the world if you don't have like everything exactly the same. So yeah, that's the important part. Again, also, like I told you, I try to like look from the side views, and I try to match it, like if I have here from this side view. And yeah, by the time you're gonna learn some tricks, like for example here in my portrait, his head is like a little bit tilted down, and here his head is a little bit tilted up. So you will not find this kind of saggy wrinkles or volume on his neck, because his head is tilted high, while on my sculpt he's looking a little bit down or straight forward, so you can have a little bit of volume happening here. So as you can see here, so now he's like looking down, so you can see all these kind of wrinkles on the side. You see, for example, the ears. I try to match the ears as much as possible. But for example, you see the ear here, the shape of the earlobe is a little bit different than mine. So like I told you, this is not the end of the world, because nobody's gonna be like, ah, look at his earlobe, it's not exactly the same. But yeah, even that you can just do very quickly. Like for example, whenever I try to make any changes to a big shape, I try to go in lower subdivisions. So for example, I can go here and sculpt this quickly like that, and then go higher and see how it looks like. And yeah, so if he's looking a little bit like that in the reference, you can see that earlobe is going a little bit like this. And then go higher to see how it looks like. And yeah, as you can see here, I think I was inflating my model a little bit, and it caused these artifacts or issues. It's very easy to fix. Just smooth it a little bit, and it's not there anymore. So something like that. Okay. So yeah, that's basically it. Even if you have something like, if you want to go crazy in details to make everything perfectly match, you can just do that. But believe me, from experience, that's not the thing that makes a difference. If you can get the overall feeling of a character, that's so much better than just focusing on small details. So focus more first on getting the overall likeness. Try to get the character to look like the subject that you're making the likeness of, and then follow with smaller details later. So yeah, and as you can see, there is some photos that he doesn't look that old, while there is some that he's really older, and you can see that the wrinkles are getting stronger on his face. So try also to have that in mind. Either you choose like an age that you want to match from one of their references, or, which is the method that I prefer, is just to make like an average of all the ages that you have. So for me, this is like a mixture of him younger and him older. And again, like I said, it's basically trying to match this one. So yeah, as you can see again here, something that I noticed that I missed is that how strong this wrinkle is on his face. You can see here, while on my sculpt it's not that strong. So let's do that. To do something as fine as that, I prefer to work on a layer, because this way I can just, like, if I don't like it, I can just delete it and I'm done with it. If I like it but I feel like it's strong, then I can just dial it down a little bit. So yeah, it's very helpful. And again, like we were talking, if I'm gonna make a big change like that, or like a big wrinkle, I try to go in lower subdivisions like this, and then let's copy that part. So something like that, and then if I see from here, yep, looks better. And then if I want to make a very, very fine wrinkle, I try to go to the highest subdivision, make my dam standard really, really fine and small, and at the same time I try to make it really intense, and then I can just sculpt this fine line that I want to sculpt. So yeah, as you can see here, something like that. Sorry guys if my voice is getting a little bit lower when I'm focused, but I'm sure you still can hear me, so bear with me with that. So as you can see here, that's a little bit closer to how it looks like on his face. And as you can see, I try to make it not just one straight line. I try to make it more like natural and then wavy, as you can see here. And don't worry guys, we're gonna have a lot of projects to work on, and maybe next project or maybe the one after, I'm gonna start a head likeness from scratch. So we're gonna start from a sphere or from a base mesh, something like that, and you're gonna be able to see all these steps being done in order, and you won't be like see me only working on the sculpt and then going into crazy details and just starting the texturing. So it's only this one that I wanted to start from the sculpt that I have to really get into the more interesting part. I think from all the requests that I've been getting, it's mostly about having to work on skin shaders and making realistic eyes, like grooming. So that's why I didn't want to waste a lot of time on sculpting something from scratch. But we're gonna do it next project or the project after. I can also notice here that his eyes, I can see that this is a little bit buffy. It's not that obvious here, but again, this is a poster, so I don't know, maybe it's heavily photoshopped. This one also is a poster, but it's, I don't know, it feels like it's puffy here. Let's see some references. Yeah, as you can see, I think it's because he got older here, so it's getting puffier. Here it's saggy, but you can see that it's a little bit puffy from this side. So yeah, let's try to beef it up a little bit. So for something like that, I would either use the inflate brush like that, and then like inflate the parts that I want to feel like. Or I can also use my standard brush and try to make the intensity lower, and then like go over the parts that I want to give it volume, like that. So yeah, let's do it this way. I can also use a little bit of the standard in here. It feels like he has this kind of wrinkle going on, like that. In here. This one. again, like I'm telling you, I'm not doing it exactly the same, but you can get the kind of wrinkles that's going on in his face. So yeah, that's basically it for the sculpting part. And again, like I said, we're gonna have something to sculpt from scratch, maybe on next project. But for this one, let's go into more details. So for this one, what I'm gonna do next is that I already have these pores that I mostly sculpted by hand. I don't know if I used some displacements on it or not. I think it's all sculpted by hand, this one. I don't remember. Maybe I used like tertiary details on it, like only the tertiary maps from texturing XYZ. I honestly don't remember, but I tend to do that a lot, is that I would sculpt the wrinkles, the primary and secondary by hand, and then try to add the tertiary and micro from the texturing XYZ ones. So yeah, the thing is that when I made this portrait, I had my old computer, which was horrible. It was 32 gigabytes of RAM. It was 4 cores. It was horrible. So now that I have a better computer, so I think I can subdivide it even more, because now it's on 13 mil for the heads, so I can subdivide one more time, and then I can add like finer details. It's gonna add more to the realism. So what I will do now is that I'm gonna take my mesh into Mari and start painting some displacement maps on it, and then subdivide it one more time, and then add my details on that. So yeah, so let's take it to Mari, and this way also I can show you how to use the displacement maps from texturing XYZ and use them in Mari to get the details in Zbrush. So to start doing this, and to save time for the video, I will just pause here, export my lowest subdivision. So that's what I like to do, is that I would go to like the lowest, or if it's very very low, I think I can go to maybe second. And by the way, this is gonna be the one that I'm gonna be using in my render. It's either the second or the third. I don't ever use the first, so it might be the second subdivision is the one that I'm gonna use as my base mesh when it comes to rendering. So I can use my second subdivision. I'm gonna export this one, and I'm gonna also decimate the highest subdivision and keep the UVs when decimating. So if I come here, so if you go here, multi-map exporter, sorry, not the multi-map export, decimation master, I can keep my UVs and then decimate on the subdivision text, and then make like a 10% or 5% decimation. And then I will show you that I will be using this as an added version, so I can see what I'm doing when I'm painting my displacement map. So see you guys in a second in Mari, and let's continue with detailing the head. So here we are in Mari, and I imported the head. I just hate this shader, so let's quickly make a new shader, like a blend maybe. And then yeah, so what I was telling you about the decimated version. So if you go to the objects palette, so if you don't have it, you can just go to view palettes and then get the objects, and then you will have your current object that you have selected, and then you have versions here. So you can go up here, right click, and then click add version, and then add the decimated one, as long as they have the same UVs, so you can use it as a version. So if I'm painting on this one and I want to see details while I'm painting, I can always go to my decimated version, which, as you can see, has all the sculpting details that I already have. So yep, that's good. So let's bring into our image manager the texturing XYZ images. So let's get this here. And I'm sure that most of you are familiar with the way that you prepare your texturing XYZ displacements. And if you are not, you can. So if you go to tutorials, you can find it here. Yeah, here. So this is a very basic tutorial how you can compile your texturing XYZ displacement maps. So yeah, anyways, so as you can see here, we have the head and we have our. So let's make a new layer. Let's first, before making this new layer, let's add a basic color layer, and then choose a color that's a little bit different than the gray. Something like red, for example, or something like that. Try to find something that's easy on your eyes, because this way you will be able to see what you already painted and what you still didn't paint using the maps. So if you're using gray, it's very easy to miss some spots, but if you're using red color, then it's gonna be very obvious. And then let's go to our there. So for example, let's start with the nose. Give it some time on, and yeah, so Control Shift and drag. This way I'm able to scale my my texture for projection. Control, I can rotate it with Control. So that's basically what we're gonna be needing. Shift, you can move it around. So yeah, Control Shift, Shift, Control. And I think it was Shift plus. Yeah, Shift plus, you can make it more opaque. Shift minus, you can make it less opaque. So yeah, something like that's fine. And then once you press Alt, you're back again to your model. Try to always work in the orthographic view. Try not to work in perspective. It's very weird in perspective. The cameras are not the best in Mari, so try to always work in ortho and UVs. So yeah. So let's start. Let's start with the nose. So something like that. R, you can control the scale of your brush. Oh. So guys, so if this ever happened to you, that you find that when you're projecting on your model, it gets pixely, then check your UVs. So the UVs were not correct on the model that I imported before, so that's why it was really pixely, even when I'm using like 8K maps, and I'm using 4K paint buffer. So anyways, let's continue. So I have here in my image manager the maps that we are going to use, and then let me go to my layers, and again just quickly add basic color, get a color that looks recognizable. This one. And then let's start with our nose. So new layer, nose. Here we go. Get this on. And yeah. So that's so much nicer now. So another thing that I like to do is that once I have something like that, I like to add a copy channel layer. Oops, no, not this. Here, copy channel. And then what copy channels does is that, if for example, if I show you, so what we already have in our layer here is our secondary, tertiary, and micro maps. Both or the three of them are in the channels: the red, the green, and the blue. And again, go to the very basic tutorial on the texturing XYZ page. That will explain better than wasting our time to explain something basic like this. And when I have my copy channel on, this allows me to see which map I will be looking at. So for example, if I am on the red, I have the secondary. If I am on the green, I have the tertiary. If I'm on the blue, I have the micro. So what I like to do is that I like to go to the green, and this way for me it's a nicer way to see the details that I'm painting. So without it's all purple, you don't really see what you're doing. So I like to have that on to see from time to time while working. So yeah, continue with what I'm doing here. So yeah, something like that. And shit, not on this one, on this one here. So yeah, that's better. Like that. And again, you can see that the adding this red layer shows me what I finished and what I still didn't touch. And it can also show you these little artifacts that you might have that you wouldn't be able to see if you have the gray color on. So, and something like this. And again, if I do my copy channel, it allows me to see that there is some difference in the scale here. So I try to make it nicer. So make the scale a little bit bigger here. So yeah, something like this. And then go again on the side here of the nose. Get the side on my nose here. Then paint. You can always try to like use bigger brush. Get something like that. Nice. And then go again on the other side. And get something like that here. Yeah, that's nice. So again, if I hide the copy channel, I can see the purple ones. So I can see here, you can see that there is some redness happening in this area, which shows you that we didn't paint it that well. So as you can see here now, the red is getting this. What we can also do is that we can go to our projection, and then in the projection, if I mask preview enabled, and then let me go to my layers, let me hide this color to be able to see it better, and then go to projection, and then if I activate the edge mask, you can see here that I can mask the edges while I'm painting, and this way it allows me to not paint over the area that I'm painting. So for example, if I'm gonna be painting here, I will not be allowed to paint on the red area. So I can activate something like that. And this way I will be sure that I'm not gonna be painting over another area when I'm painting those. Like for example, if I'm painting on this side, I'm sure that the other side is gonna be masked. So if I'm painting in the middle, I'm sure that I'm not gonna be painting on the sides here. And then once I'm happy with it, I can just go to mask preview enabled, and then I can hide that. But I will still have my mask on because I have my edge mask on. And then this is an amazing thing, by the way, to use, and not only the edge mask, the channel mask. This way you can add any masks in a channel, in a new channel, and then when you go to channel mask, you can select this channel and use it as a mask. It's really helpful. We're gonna use this when we'll start doing some creature work, because we're gonna use this a lot. But anyways, so back to our layers. We can have our color on, and then go to our projection. So yeah, continue. Let's add the copy. So yeah, for the nose, we're almost there. go a bit smaller here. And it's gonna be like coming and going back on this one, because once I finish the nose and feel like I'm happy with how it looks so far, I would start to work on the cheeks or the face, and then I would come back again to the nose to continue working on it. So again, I'm like working here, and then I would go to the flat view to see exactly what I'm doing. So yeah, something like that on the bottom. Then again, control to rotate. And I will try to like get as much as I can from the nose. Displacement. So yeah, that's not too bad. Can add more here. Get rid of this redness happening. Activate my copy channel, see how it looks like. Nice. On the other side, it's nice. Remove it to see any redness happening. Yep, there is. So I can paint over it again here. And now I'm sure that I'm not painting over the other side because I have my my edge mask activated. So yeah, awesome. So that's good enough for the nose. So let's move on. First of all, save. Mari acts crazy sometimes and crashes. So another layer, and then I would work on the face. So if I go to the left side of the face first, give some time. Come on. Go on, Mari. You can do it. So here we go. We have the left side of the face, which is the right side of the character's face. So what I try to do is that I try to like line up as much as I can. Like here is this wrinkle, I try to line it up to the wrinkle that I have. The mouth. So I try to get something that looks like this, you know, like that. And then I can start painting. So let's go crazy. Don't be afraid. We're gonna paint it over again anyways. Here. much area as possible. Okay, and then I can get to the side here. Again, try to like line up the wrinkles. Get this here. I can also like go to a lower level, so it would be easier for me to see what's going on. So yeah, here. Again, like I'm saying, try to always like cover as bigger area as possible as early, so you can later go into details and like refine it and go crazy with the OCD stuff about how perfect your displacement is matching with your sculpt. So I can do this here like that. Then I can come here, get this to line up with that one here. Maybe a little bit bigger. And then yeah, I can use the copy channel to see the scale of my pores, if I'm still following the same scale. Nice. So yeah, something like that. And then come here, get the mouth area. So yeah, that's nice. Scale is close. Again, quick and dirty. Cover as much as you can. Can refine it later. Then we can come here to refine a little bit, maybe like that. So try to line up the mouth here, like that. Then here, like this. Mouse here. Like that. So yeah, for this one, for example, if I go to the decimated version, I can see that his lips doesn't go that far down, because as you can see, his lips are very thin. You can see here. So I can try to make it thinner, like try to make it smaller here, like that, and then paint the rest of it as skin. So you can see we're already starting to see something. Go back to my level 2 so I can see the details better. Same also on the upper lip. I feel like it's can make it a little bit thinner. So I can do this, like go here like that, and then paint it. More like this. So yeah, he has thinner lips now. I can do this also. So quick and dirty again. So something like that. Nice. And then I can continue with the side of the face. So I can line up here. Bigger brush. Make sure that the pores are not so much smaller or so much bigger. Can go to my flat, shade it, see what I'm doing. Maybe I can go to the decimated version to see. So if I go here to how his face looks like, yeah, you can see a resemblance of a wrinkle here. So we can keep the one that we have in this area. Let's remove the copy channel to see what we have here. This redness happening. So I can paint over it quickly, like that. Maybe here a bit. Here. Nice. This corner. The wrinkle. So yeah, that's basically it. We can jump back again to the nose and then try to refine it to make it work together. So I can go to the side, get a little bit of my nose here. this area. So yeah, we can go here, paint a little bit more. Something like that. I can get face again. This area here. Cover as much as possible. Get a little bit here, like that. Of that. Maybe I can go to the eyes and try to make it better here. So if I can get a little bit of an eye corner here. Yeah, that's nice. And then maybe here a little bit more. That. This area. Here. Nice. So we can move into the forehead. Let's save this, add a new layer, and then forehead. So again, here we have that. Let's go to the decimated version so we can try to line up with the wrinkles that we already have. So something like that is nice. So maybe try a little bit on the side here. And then again I can go to my copy channel version to see the size of the pores. Are they working together well? Yep, they are. You can also go to my lower resolution. Yep, that looks perfect. And then I can continue working like that a little bit. So I can add more here, like this. Try to squeeze in as much details as possible from these ones. So yeah, maybe lower parts. Can go for that. bit here. A little bit on the corner. So something like that. That's really nice now. So again, try to get as much as possible from this one. So take it and go a little bit higher. Like that. So again, you can see a little bit of red here. This means that we need to paint over it. Bit here. So I can go again to the face and then go to this part here and try to get this wrinkle and cover this part. Something like that. Forehead again. And then get this part. So yeah guys, so that's it for this video. As I told you, it's gonna be at least 1 hour video every week. So for the people who subscribed in the middle of this month and they are gonna be paying again next month, that's why I will try to make more than one video every week in these 2 weeks left in this month. So that's it for the first week, and I will try to not waste your time by not recording the whole process of painting the texturing XYZ textures. So what I will do now is that I'm gonna continue working on it, finish the whole painting, and then I'm gonna start recording the next video after finishing painting all these displacement textures, and show you how I'm gonna be exporting them and applying them inside Zbrush. Apply them in layers, like I will have my sculpt as the base mesh, and then I will have the primary, the secondary, the tertiary, and the micro details on separate layers, and then I'm gonna be like mixing and matching between them until I achieve a resolution and pore details that I'm happy with. And then we're gonna be starting to bake our displacement maps, and then we're gonna come back again to Mari and paint our color textures. So hopefully this will all be covered in the next 1 hour video. So yes, I hope that you learned anything new from what I've been doing in this hour. And please guys, feel free to comment underneath the post and tell me what do you think, and tell me if there is something that I'm missing that I should be addressing in the next videos, or if there's something that you don't understand, and I will try to answer all these questions. So thanks guys, and see you on the next video.